channel. My name is Zach, and before we get into my August movie reviews, I just wanted to say, September, I'm going to be uploading a video every day. So 30 videos, 30 days. So if you want to see anything specific, please let me know in the comments down below, because it would really help me out to not have to think about all of them myself. But that out of the way, airplane. That was like the longest, of all time. Ooh. Oh, it's cold. My laptop is so cold. Okay, let me start screen recording on here. Alright, and now we are recording. So, on the 2nd of August, I watched Wicked again with a bunch of my family members, and I give it 3.5 stars and a like. And I say, I love watching musicals with other people who know the lyrics. 10 out of 10 would recommend. If you're excited for Wicked Part 2, leave a comment down below, because I cannot wait for Wicked Part 2. Alright, next, also on... Alright, is it gonna do this every time? Okay, sorry, you guys are gonna get ads in the middle of this as well. Also on the same day, I watched The Hot Chick because it was something my my cousins put on, and so I think it was bad, but I get why they like it. And I said, "Wet in the Freaky Friday fuck," and I gave it 1 star. Okay, my thing's having a freak out. Alright, for this one, maybe I'll crop out the ads. I'm sorry about that, y'all. This is another rewatch of Companion. I showed it to them because they wanted a funny horror movie, and I was like, oh my god, do I have the perfect thing? Companion, which I gave 3.5 stars, and we watched this while we were high, so that's why the review is that. Yeah, 3.5 stars and a like. Alright, on August 5th, so 3 days later, I watched The Secret Service. Is this the one? Okay, this is the original, Kingsman. I said I love a good action spy film. Also going from wearing a sideways cap to a full suit. Awesome. And if you've seen Eggsy, is kind of a wild card in this universe. So, 3 stars and a like. I thought it was decent. Earlier in July, I had watched Pitch Perfect 1 with my cousins, but Pitch Perfect 2 is obviously the better Pitch Perfect. Changed my mind. I gave it 4 stars and a like, and I said, yeah, just yeah. On August 6th, I watched The Kingsman: The Golden Circle. This is the 2nd Kingsman movie, and it is about Julianne Moore being like this crazy drug cartel boss, and Eggsy and the American Kingsman, which is called Statesman. Alright, people could just not stop badgering me during the recording this. I gave this 3 stars, a like, and Pedro Pascal was in this, but he was a villain. So I was like, Pedro, no. This was another recommendation from my cousins, which is 51st Dates, and I gave it 1.5 stars. I said, weird concept, executed poorly, but it had its moments. Yeah, 1.5 star, but no like. On my birthday, we watched Grease, where we were also high, and I gave it 3 stars, and I said, Edna Turnblad looks different here, and that's a hairspray joke. On August 10th, when I got home from Chicago, I watched Mamma Mia with my family, this was a rewatch, but I gave it 3.5 stars and a like, and I said, I'm gonna kill Pierce Brosnan with my own 2 hands, because if you've seen this movie, you would too. This was so good. I gave it 3 stars and a like. And I said, saw this movie with my mom on discount day, but would gladly pay full price. Oh my god. Number 1, the casting is phenomenal. Julia Butters is Lindsay Lohan's daughter. I will hear nothing more. Also cried because the story is good. Shouts out to movies that are just movies for movie's sake. Because this, I feel like it could have been either or. It could have been what it was, or it could have been literally really bad, literally terrible. But they executed it really, really well. I love the story. I love Manny Ancito. And yeah, 10 out of 10. Well, 3 out of 5, but... Next up, I watched Anora again with... I got 4 stars and a like. I said watching this with my parents was a mistake, but here we are. Still a great film. And I saw this in theaters when they re-released it for Oscar season. And it's a really good movie. I think it's really long for no reason. And the middle part is the funniest when the bodyguards show up is the funniest. But yeah, 4 stars alike. I like this movie. On August 13th, I watched Don't Look Up, and I said, why was this so on the nose? It didn't have to read the current state of America like a book, ... Fuck. And I feel like it was such a stacked cast that to go the way it did, and like to be kind of boring. Yeah, I don't know. Timothy Chalamet was weird in this. I don't know. 3 stars and a like it was alright, but I didn't love it. On the 14th, I watched My Mother's Wedding, and it said, much like Jonathan Bailey in the new Jurassic Park playing American, why is she British? Sorry to ScarJo, but she cannot do accents. A movie I walked away from not questioning anything, but also every odd detail. And I gave this 2 stars. I didn't think it was that good. The plot was, like, okay, I guess. ScarJo's just like an absentee British military mom who's also a lesbian. And yeah, it was weird. The plot was all over the place. And 2 stars. I did a double feature of My Mother's Wedding and Weapons. So, yeah. And I said, they call me the Midnight Bob. I said a compelling story that keeps you in your seat, but that doesn't give you a rounded story. We saw what happened, but not why. Infuriating. And I gave it 3 stars. Everyone was like praising this film, thinking it was like all that. And I was like, I can't believe we watched the same movie. Like, I didn't think it was like groundbreaking. I thought it was alright. I gave it 3 stars, middle of the road. But it was like bad. Anyway. Next I watched K-Pop Demon Hunters on the 16th. And I gave this 3.5 stars. I really liked this movie. It was way better than any of the kids' movies I've seen this year. Like, I watched the Garfield movie. I don't know if that came out this year. I watched the Smurfs movie. That was bad. But this is a good movie. And I said I also partake in Couch every so often with 3.5 stars and a like. I really enjoyed that one. For the 16th, also on the 16th, I watched First Daughter, and this is a Katie Holmes movie where she is the first daughter of the United States, and I don't know, yeah, it was okay. Like, the twist was like, it was there, like it was good, I guess. I gave it 2 stars, and I said red, white, and royal blue, but for the straights, because tell me I'm wrong. If you've ever seen this movie, tell me I'm wrong. Next, on the 17th, I watched The Proposal with Ryan Reynolds and Sandra Bullock, and I gave it 3 stars and a like. And my review was, Ryan Reynolds pre-being insufferable movies are my favorite. Because I think other than when he's playing Deadpool, I think he's insufferable. Like, Deadpool's supposed to be insufferable. You're supposed to, like, not like him. But Ryan Reynolds is just insufferable in real life. Pulp Fiction. I gave this 2 stars. I didn't really enjoy it all that much. I think Tarantino loves a really long movie, and for that reason, I'm out. It was just so long. Like, it was cool how he set it up. Like, the pacing was really good. I mean, like, the story, the way he wrote the story was really cool, but it was very, very long. So I gave it 2 stars, and I said I love when Wolf showed up and just told them to clean, like 2 grown men couldn't put 2 and 2 together. And I've always said that. Next up is Call Me by Your Name. I watched Call Me by Your Name for the first time earlier this year. That's why there's a little 2 next to the reviewed. I didn't really like this movie when I first saw it. I thought it was weird. I thought it was a weird age gap movie, and I couldn't really get behind it. And I think I gave it 3 stars the first time. With a second watch, I gave it 4.5, and I said, there's only one happiness in life, to love and be loved, by George Sand. This movie captures raw emotion and heartbreak so beautifully, because it is that kind of yearning and longing that Timothée Chalamet portrays in this movie that is the most beautiful part of the movie, where he gets the call from he gets the call from Oliver at the end, and that credit scene is one of the most heart-wrenching things. And also, the soundtrack goes hard as hell. Sufjan Stevens is a masterpiece creator. I love that guy. Alright, next up, I watched the Garfield movie. I gave this 0.5 star, and I said, what is this movie about? Because I really just watched this movie for Hannah Waddingham, and she isn't in it all that much. Well, she obviously isn't in it, but her character isn't in it all that much. But I thought it was really funny that both Hannah Waddingham's character in the Garfield movie and her character in Ted Lasso, Rebecca Welton, have the same character arc. Like, they're the same villain origin story. Like, Jinx in this movie hates Garfield's dad and wants him to feel the way she felt after she got caught stealing while he was helping. Like, Garfield's dad was a milk thief, and she got caught helping him steal milk and got sent to the pound, and she wanted him to feel like she felt at the pound. And Rebecca Welton wanted Rupert to feel just as bad as she did when they got divorced. So it was funny that this cat and Rebecca Welton had the same villain origin story. This next movie was a short, and it's narrated by Hannah Waddingham. I had a bit of a Hannah Waddingham kick this month, and this is called Tiddler, and it's 2.5 stars and a like. And I said, I need Hannah Waddingham to do an audiobook now. And yeah, it was good. It's a BBC Christmas special thing, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, it was good. Alright, on the 22nd, I watched Ted Lasso, The Missing Christmas Mustache, also because of Hannah Waddingham. I gave this 3 stars and a like, and it was only 5 minutes, and it counted towards my movies for the month, so. I said, it's now canon that if Roy can ever lose his eyebrows, he can grow them back on command. Because that happens in this short. I would recommend watching this short. It's on YouTube. Alright, for my double feature, in the week of the 22nd, I watched Honey Don't, which I gave 3.5 stars. And I said the cinematography was very fun and reminded me of projects we made in school, especially the credits. The twist was awesome, and I need these 2 in more movies stat. I thought this movie was really fun. I think if you like, I think this movie's for everyone, actually. Like, I think it's just fun. And yeah, Margot Valley and Aubrey Plaza. What more do you need? What more do you need? And then the second movie I watched that day was The Fantastic Four: First Steps. I saw this in Dolby Atmos Cinema, and it was awesome. I said, this is such a cool visual aesthetic for Marvel that we haven't seen before, and the editing was retro and CGI heavy, but in a way that was balanced. Can't wait for Doomsday. And yeah, this was middle of the road. It was pretty good, but it was like nothing, never a superhero movie's gonna get probably more than 3 stars from me. But I thought it was really, really fun and retro and really, really mid-century looking and very cool. So I like that one. 3 stars and a like. The next movie I watched was The Greatest Showman. Again, this was a rewatch. So I just wanted to watch another Zendaya movie. So I watched The Greatest Showman. So glad Hugh Jackman fought for this movie to be made, because it hits every time just straight in the feels. And I gave this 4 stars and a like. For the 26th, I watched Whisper of the Heart with my family. And I didn't really like this movie that much. I thought it was visually, kind of boring, but it's a Ghibli movie, so it's beautiful to look at. And that's exactly how I feel. I think the story was a little bit lackluster and revolved a little bit too much around John Denver. But other than that, good. I give it 2 stars. On the 27th, I watched the movie Malcolm and Marie, and I gave this 4 stars and a like, because I said, while not revolutionary, this film is impressive, not because of the writing or the cinematography, both of which I found annoying at times, but because of the circumstances in which this film was made. Sam Levinson used COVID to his advantage while the rest of Hollywood was waiting in the dark. I respect how film school this felt in the best way possible. But yeah, I get it. I think it was there's only 2 people in this movie, so it was alright, and it was monologue heavy, but it was good. On the 27th as well, I went to see The Roses, and I thought it was really fun. It's just a fun movie. I love Olivia Colman, love Benedict Cumberbatch as well, love Kate McKinnon in this too. It was just a fun movie, a good movie for movie's sake. I hope their kids go D1. And if you've watched the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Alright. On the 28th, I saw Jaws for the first time. I'm sorry if you can hear that. There's cicadas outside and my dad just burped out loud, so that's cool. But yeah, I saw Jaws for the first time, and I said 4.5 stars and a like. I love when the music feels like part of the movie. There are movies with good soundtracks, and then there's Jaws. And yeah, I thought this movie was really good. And yeah, it's the first time I saw it, so. I was talking to my cousin about this book I'm reading called The Murder Machine, and it's about an AI house that kills the people who live inside. And she told me to watch this movie, which is called Smart House. And yeah, I didn't like this movie. I gave it 1 star and it was a good, for what it was. They used I'm pretty sure this was when green screen was just coming out, and I don't know, it was fun, but I said I hate when my cousins tell me to watch a movie. And yeah, 1 star. And then finally, yesterday I watched God's Own Country, and this was very good. I thought it was very good. I gave it 3.5 stars and a like. And I said, Call Me By Your Name, except it's NC-17, involves way more birth, and he gets the guy in the end. I would recommend this because it's an early Josh O'Connor movie, And if you liked Call Me By Your Name, I think you'll like this movie as well. But yeah, that's gonna be all the movies I watched in August. Tomorrow, I'm gonna give you an updated room tour because as you can see, I am in a new location in my room. So now it's all clean, so I'm gonna film a video after this, giving you guys the tour. And then, yeah, once again, in the comments, let me know what kind of videos you want to see for my month of content. And I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.